Hi there, I'm Evan.
And I'm Mark.
Mark drops a bomb today, but he takes like 15 minutes to do it. So there's preamble and yada yada, and then poof! You gotta stay tuned for this one. We are live. It's happening. Something to Poop podcast with Evan Carmichael and Mark Drager. Here, your best friends on your entrepreneurial journey.
I love that.
Let's go. What do we got, Mark?
We are the entrepreneurial journey best friends.
Is that Think Bold sign new behind you, or
newer? I don't know if it was there last week. I think it was.
All right,
I think it was there last week, but it's newer.
All right, good. I like it.
Newer.
I like
I'm not sure if I liked it, but I've been thinking about it for 4 or 5 months. Yeah. And then finally I was like, oh, enough of this. So I just quickly designed something. 3 things. My daughter picked the one she liked best. I got it printed, shipped to me.
It needs to go on the wall. That's it. It's not a good desk.
Yeah,
it's got to go on the wall.
No, it's not finished yet.
It's like my YouTube award there. Like, it's got to be on the wall. It can't just be sitting down there on the plaque. It doesn't look good.
Okay. Well, thank you for your critical feedback. I appreciate that. Audience, why don't you go ahead and leave a comment below and tell me whether you think it looks good leaning or whether we should put it on the wall.
It should go on the wall. Okay, keep going. What's next? What are we talking about today, Mark?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Today's Thursday, so it's always good for me.
Today is always good for you. You can't tell me that you had an amazing thought leadership.
No. Today was a reader group. So today we did our insider reader group. We're doing it on Zoom now. I mean, it's always been Zoom, but now I let people come in instead of it just be text only. So it's fun seeing people's faces. It's fun seeing their backgrounds. It's fun calling them out. It's fun seeing them laugh. It's fun doing crazy things on camera.
What are people working through? Like, so, I mean, you're going to have people who joined your reader group from March when, April, when your book launched. You have people joining now. Are people working through the same things, or are people like maturing their way through it?
So it's always a mix, and as you've worked through something, then you have something new that you have to work through, right? It's a constant. You're never done working through. So
after every mountain is another mountain, they say.
Yeah. So I do a poll, right? My team puts up a poll. What do you want everyone to talk about this week? And we do this for every group on Thursdays, and whatever the number one topic is. So this one, the number one topic was around like launching a new project, how to stay focused and not get overwhelmed by all the information. So that was the most voted on topic. So I lead talking about that while people join, while people kind of get comfortable and saying hi and used to kind of what we're doing. And then there's a live chat in Zoom, but then I answer their questions, and then it's all over the map. And it's some of the same questions that we get asked on our Q&A show. It's whatever people want to talk about, in the live session. So we got asked about the courage to come in front of the camera. And it was a woman who was at her job at a retail store, and we made her turn on her camera while she was there to get over that fear. There was how to do, like, why should get over the fear of sharing your story, and why your story is so important. I don't know, whatever. We just go with the flow, and it's the best, dude. The jam sessions are just so much fun. It's crazy. And having so much fun. It's having too much fun. I've been invited to all these different marketing groups.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's just nonstop. And tomorrow I'm doing Brendan's influencer summit. Yes. Oh yeah, you know that because we're canceling our live thing, so I can do that. And it's gonna be me. So he's doing 3 days, 4 days, I don't remember. And it's me and him. We're just gonna jam out, right? Like no set agenda, jam out. I was inside Joe Polish's group, and I met with Ben Hardy.
No, I know a different Ben. I was looking down because I have a book from Ben Settle, but no,
okay. So Ben Hardy's an author. He's got a new book that's just coming out called Who Not How with Dan Sullivan. I think we talked about Who Not How before. Maybe not.
We did. You said that last Friday's Q&A, people were asking about during COVID what we learned, and that was what you said your response was.
Who Not How
recently. So
we did a jam session with him inside Joe's 50K group, 25K group. Anyway, I'm doing another one inside his annual event. His last he's going on a 1-year sabbatical, and he's doing one big event before he goes away. And I'm jam sessioning it there. Like the jam sessions are just, dude, it's where it's at.
You love it because you can just show up and do your
I love
thing.
it. Like
there's no prep, there's no pressure.
It's what I've always wanted to do. And the speaking the speaking was okay. Most people don't want to hire somebody for a jam session. They want to hire somebody to speak on stage,
Right.
which is fine, but that's the setup to do the jam session in the hallway, which I'm doing anyway. But now inside of everything is remote and Zoom. So you could see the comments and I'm talking and then calling people out and looking at their comments as they come in and then people just freak out. It's like, oh my God, that was the greatest session ever. It's like, this is the best.
But this is amazing insight, right? Like, you may already know this. I'm just learning this from you right now. When we were in the old world, people wanted to pay to go listen to someone speak. In the new world where everything's virtual, the jam session is the most interactive thing you can do, right? Like it builds instant community, instant moment. It's a one shot thing. It's brand new. It's right there for you.
Yeah. I mean, I think jam sessions were always a thing. People just didn't do them. Right. And like, I think at Tony Robbins, the intervention parts are the best. That's the best part of the whole thing. But he does 1 or 2 in a 4-day event. Right.
Yeah.
And for people who are coming back, it's the same content from year to year to year. So you hear it again, it hits you in a different way. But the unique part is the jam sessions. And these people are so good at it. Like Tony's so good at it. And Dean is so good at it. And Brendan is so good at it. And they're barely doing it. So in all of my speeches, I bring somebody on stage and we workshop something, which is the most fun ever. But now it's like we're moving into the world of jam sessions. And who did I called it that? And I think it was Joe or somebody else was like, I love that name. We should use that name. Like, yes, let's go. Jam session. Jam session. It's great. Anyway,
I do like that.
It's so much fun, dude. This is perfect. Anyway, so that's how I'm doing.
You needed like a little moment to like, I'm so excited about this thing. I need a moment
I
to
forgot what we were doing.
We haven't said what we're doing yet.
Oh, okay, good.
We're on the podcast.
We're on the podcast. It's happening. I did my first TikTok live today. That was fun. Mm-hmm. Went live on TikTok. Just kind of figured out how it works, what functionalities there are. People were joining out of nowhere. People were joining who were following me, but people were also joining who that was just getting referred to them. And so it's like, who are you? How are you verified? It's like, hi, I'm Evan Carmichael.
Is that humbling or is that fun?
Oh, it's great. No, it's so good because it's a mix. You got people asking me the typical questions like, how do you prepare for an interview? Or how do you get these guys on your show? Or how do I get like the typical questions from people who are entrepreneurs who know me? And then you have these 14-year-old kids who come on and are like, I came on because my friend wanted me to look up how to bully someone, but I didn't want to bully somebody. And then I found your content and now I'm here. It's like, okay, hey, welcome.
I love that so much.
Yeah, it's super fun.
So in new tradition, because Thursdays I interview people for my other podcast, the We Do Hard Things podcast. As you know, I just interviewed Anthony Trucks. Oh, nice.
I love Anthony. He's great.
Was he in Puerto Rico with you guys?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, he's in your group then.
He's in my weekly marketing group and he's in the Puerto Rico group.
He is
he's awesome. He had his new background. I forced him to do the new background.
He has an amazing background. I complimented him actually. I was like, dude, I'm like, your studio looks amazing.
Did he give me props?
No.
Unbelievable, Trucks. I'm going to DM Trucks right now.
But here's
unbelievable.
The thing. I was really excited to interview him. And I think it was a great interview. But the whole time I was like, wow, this guy's next level. Like
on your shift.
I was having trouble keeping track of what he was saying.
All right.
So usually I'm in conversations where it's like go, and I'm like trying to slow myself down to explain to people what I'm talking about or connect dots. But he was like connecting next level dots. And I was like, wow, this guy I was impressed just listening to him. He is very, very good.
Let's go, Trucks.
He is very good. So I cannot wait to get that out, but I'm going to listen back to it. I turned the whole thing into just a session for me.
Okay, great.
I kept saying like the audience, but basically at one point, it just became him helping me, which was
that should have been the start. Jesus, did I not tell you that should be the start?
Yes, that's why I did it.
But lead with it. Don't halfway through stop seeing the audience. Jesus Christ.
Relax. It's good. It's good.
Lead with it.
Okay. To it, but it was a great interview.
Next time we lead with it, and this is the lead. Hey, Anthony. I love you. I found out about you on Impact Theory. It's my favorite Impact Theory of all time. Mark Drager, struggle with.
I did that. And then my first question was, so let me start with, you're all about shifting. You're all about change. Do you think people can actually change?
No.
What?
No, we say, I'm struggling with this. You had the perfect setup. It's your favorite impact theory of all time or whatever, one of your top 10, which is a great compliment to pay him.
It is starred as one of my
And then
top
you
10.
say, I struggle myself with X. Oh my God.
I'll get better.
I told you on Facebook or whatever before.
You said, make it the best interview ever. That's what you said.
No, hold on.
Yes, your quote was, make it the best AT interview ever.
Is that all I said?
Yes. You said it by email. You sent it by email to Bo and I, and you said, make it the best AT interview ever.
Really? I didn't tell you to make it about you?
No.
Oh. Well, I feel like you should already know this.
I do know it. I thought of you. I thought of him. I thought of
Come on, really?
I thought, how can I make this so good? You emailed me and Bo, and you said, make it the best AT interview ever.
And I didn't say, make it about you? Come on.
Are you looking it up right now?
Ask him questions that what are you talking about? Make it the best. You skipped the second line. What's the second line of that email, Drager? Read the whole email.
I don't have it in front of me. What's the email?
Oh, great. Oh, that's very convenient.
I'm going
very
from memory.
Convenient.
What did you say?
Well, let me read it word for word.
Verbatim, yes.
Make it the best AT interview ever. Happy face.
Yes.
Ask him questions that can directly help you.
Which is what I did.
Oh my God.
I'm just sorry that I didn't lead off the top with that one question.
Well, that's what I
mean. I got there about 4 minutes into it.
Listen, it was not 4 minutes in. It was much further in.
Anyway,
we're going to watch it back and we're going to realize that it was halfway through before he said it was me.
Maybe.
The audience. Anyway, in 6 months, you book a round 2.
Yeah, I want to become this guy's friend, man. He's so next level.
In 6 months. Okay, but what was the takeaway? What did he have you? What's your homework?
Gosh, we talked about so much, but I think the one takeaway I had trouble even explaining to Jacqueline. The one takeaway was being able to connect between I was talking to you about a week or two ago about how.
Oh my God, what's the takeaway, Mark?
I can't even explain it. I can't even explain it.
Okay, well, you have to narrow it down.
The takeaway is to not judge your reaction to something, but in the moment when you're filtering it and deciding on the action you're going to take on it, pick the right action.
Okay, great. So that's your homework for the next 6 months, because he's all about owning your shift, right? That's his thing. Own your shift.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have to every day practice it. And then you come back in 6 months and say, I've been working on this every day.
I even gave him something to think about, because he said, hey, when you face this moment, there's only 2 things you can do. You can go left, you can go right. Most people go left. Some people choose to go right. I was like, no, there's a third path. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, apathy.
You don't do anything.
I'm like, apathy.
Yeah, you don't do anything.
He's like, no. And then after he's like, you know what? I'm gonna have to look into that. I think you're right.
Yeah,
like, yeah, apathy.
Yeah.
We're not all just left or right.
Okay, great.
Let's
Mark,
do nothing.
Awesome. Great. You're going to practice this every day for 6 months or for 5 months, and then invite him back in after 6 months to say, I have been trying to own my shift for the past 6 months, being inspired by you. Can you come back and do a round 2? And whatever, Bo can facilitate and make all that happen for you. But he's about owning your shift. And now you get to be a case study to have in his arsenal of people who are applying his method and owning their shift. This is great. He'll do it.
I did his online survey, and I came up with being a dreamer. And I was like, just so you know, some background, I'm a dreamer. He's like, oh, that's not good. And I was like, that's not good. And he's like, no, that's not good. I'm like, oh, I didn't expect you to say that. I expect you to be like, well, there's strengths and weaknesses to all of the groups that in this thing he created. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. But if
next time when he comes on, you got to tell him Carmichael says your background is good. Unbelievable, Trucks. I guess he didn't know that we were connected. Did he know we were connected?
He may not, because some people bring it up, but you didn't come up with the whole conversation.
Trucks. Okay, anyway. Good. I love Trucks. He's great. And he's a worker. He loves the direct feedback, and he'll do the work. Okay, go. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? That is a great question. So I wanted to follow up and just share with the audience, I guess, a bit. Like 3 weeks ago, you hijacked the podcast because I wasn't sure what to talk about. 2 weeks ago, we also talked about your stuff. Last week, we dug a little bit.
Oh, we actually going into it this time?
I'm willing to go into it.
Okay, here we go. Good. Go. Setup. Wow. Okay, this is a good guys. We're going deep on this one. Forget all the preamble. Okay, go.
So I started. So for the audience, to help catch people up, obviously, I've struggled, as you guys know, with confidence and with what to do next. And, I talked at the end of the summer about how I was worried that the best days were behind us and all of these things. Ultimately I've been working through Mindset by Carol Dweck, which I think is the most amazing piece of literature ever written. I know, Evan, you were like, I flipped through it, but you're already in the growth mindset. So it's old news to you. I was actually thinking you should read it very, very carefully, because if you can come to understand the fixed mindset better, it'll actually help you with your audiences that you're trying to move forward. But because she does a very good job of explaining what it feels like to have a fixed mindset. But I've realized that Jacqueline and myself and my kids that we're luckily passing this off onto have spent most of our life in a fixed mindset. We believe that if that we have to rely on natural talent, that if someone else succeeds, it means that we're not good, that there's a cap on how well we can do things. And if we fail, it's a reflection of us not being good enough, of us having something to prove. The whole premise of something to prove is based off of the fact that I never feel good enough. And I never feel good enough because I think I've spent most of my life in a fixed mindset. So I was focused on that. I'm focused on that. I'm working through that. I believe that that's something that's holding me back. But every day that I'm more aware of it and catching it and trying to incorporate growth into the team, into the process, into the day, it's actually very freeing. It's like a weight is being lifted off your shoulders. I think that's one thing that's always held me back. And I was talking to you a few weeks, maybe a month and a half ago about it. And you're like, no, Mark, that's not the thing that's holding you back. And I'm like, no, man, this is the thing that's holding me back. And you're like, no, that's not the thing that's holding me back. So, you're convinced that I might have a mental health issue or something like that. The way that you think with Alex.
Might. Wait, how do you convinced? Might. Convinced and might don't go together.
You are convinced
yeah,
that I have a mental health issue.
Great. And welcome to being human. Most humans have a mental health issue.
I think we all do. I think at a certain level, we've talked about this. I think everybody has something. Everybody's carrying baggage of some kind. But I used to say years and years ago when I had a business coach, and I've always like I had a business coach, and on day one of the coach, I said, Warren, what you need to understand about me is I'm super manic depressive the way entrepreneurs are. And he goes, what do you mean manic depressive? Like, do you need to see a doctor and clinically kind of thing? And I was like, no, not like that. Like just the way entrepreneurs, we're excited one minute and then we're devastated the next, and then we're up and then we're down. We believe we're the best thing ever. And then we think, why are we doing this? We're wasting our time. And whenever I talk to people and explain it that way, they always say, yeah, that makes sense. Entrepreneurs are like that. And so I've known about this. I've looked into this. I've worried about this for a long time, but apparently not everybody is like that.
And not to the extreme that you are.
Right. And so I know that I have anxiety, and I've had anxiety for a long time, but I'm only learning now at 37 how much it's been holding me back. I know that I go from being very, very excited, easily excited and frantic to living in despair, like years ago when I got depressed and we went to Tony Robbins, or even before Labor Day on this podcast, when I was saying like the best days were perhaps behind us. Like, it's just this hopelessness. And so you really encouraged me to look into, whether maybe I had bipolar tendencies or this or that, which I'm not certain that I do. I'm not certain what I have or don't have, but
you got 6 of the 9 of what's it called?
Borderline personality disorder.
There you go. You got 6 of the 9 of borderline personality disorder. There you go.
So I actually started therapy this week as well, which was an interesting experience. So
how's that going?
The first half an hour was exactly as you thought it would be, which is I was like, come on, man. Like, let's go. Yeah. I got it. I read the waiver. Let's go. And then there was this turning point where the therapist's, calm and careful and considerate approach. I was questioning whether he knew really what he was doing and understood me. And then by the end, I was like, holy smokes, there's a method to this madness. Okay. I will give it, I'll give it a few more sessions and see how this goes. But I share all this because I don't know why I share all this. I share all this because I wasn't willing to share it a few weeks ago. when I was really, really sad and upset and feeling like that this was something that would hold me back forever. And ultimately what I told my therapist, which is what you said, Evan, is like, I want to know how to make this a superpower, right? Like
what was the response?
He made me repeat it twice and then explain what I meant by it because he's never heard of that.
Oh my God. So, okay. Keep going. Ridiculous.
He's a really good guy. But anyway,
great. There's lots of good people.
So,
doesn't mean it's going to help you. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, like right now, I guess where I am on my journey in terms of the business and everything else is, I have this potentially thing, if we all have it, you know, whether you have anxiety or depression or
you have a superpower. Great.
You have something. Your greatest weaknesses are your greatest strengths. Your greatest strengths are your greatest weaknesses. I haven't figured this out yet. I don't know how to do it yet, like how to really believe in it, but I've started. So like I've started to accept that, you know, maybe there might be something there. I've started researching and looking into it. I've started therapy. I've also started, the most interesting thing is I've started tracking I've kept a journal and I track my moods, the way I track the way I wake up.
Okay.
And then, so how I feel when I wake up, and then how what I accomplished during the day, and then how I feel throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
And like Monday was like super like on fire. I don't like using the word manic or even depressive for bipolar. I don't know why. It has negative connotations to me because of, I guess, my upbringing or whatnot. You know, I was raised in a household with someone who's bipolar. But on Monday, I was like super up, like hyper. Woke up 20 minutes before my alarm, crushed at the gym, had like conversation after conversation after conversation, crushed the work. I went to bed at the end of the day. I was so exhausted. And then Tuesday, I was like pretty tired most of the day from how crazy that was. And then yesterday, you and I met too. Nina had to kick me off of the call basically.
That was awesome.
Because I was feeling pretty good all day yesterday too. For like half the day, I was like, it's like rhyming things off. Let's do this. So one of the things that I think can apply to everyone, which is what I want to try and figure out, is there are times where we're feeling bold and excited and happy, and we make plans. And then when it comes time to deliver on those plans, we may not feel so bold or excited or happy. So what I'm figuring out with these daily or weekly kind of mood changes is I get really excited and really bold and make big plans. And then like a week or two later, when I have to actually deliver on those, I may not believe in them as much. I may not be as excited about them. I now have to cash the check that was written earlier. And that's something that I haven't figured out yet how to work through. I understand on the days where I'm like super up and excited how I can, and I've been trying to crush these like micro goals, 1 hour goals, 2 hour goals, crush. But if I'm setting up things on a day when I'm bold, and then I'm delivering a week later when I'm not quite feeling that way, I'm not sure how to address that, but I think that's something that would help me.
Great. There's a lot to unpack here. This is fantastic.
Are you okay? What are you taking notes?
Where do we no, I got my notepad open. Where do we start? Okay. So, at the beginning, it's coping mechanisms. Without, I don't think you need drugs. I don't think you need anything that kind of numbs it. I don't think that's the answer. I think before even thinking about superpower, I think it's just awareness of what you have and then coping mechanisms to not have as much anxiety before worrying about how to make it a superpower. I think research, maybe therapy, I still have massive disrespect for the therapy. I think
you were super disrespectful. Like, it's not even that aren't sure about it. Like, you do not think therapy is good, which surprises me because
you
hurt yourself, you went to physio, you go to,
but the problem is no, but they're experts in keeping you in a limiting belief. Like the fact that your therapist, who's I'm not attacking the man, it's a guy, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not attacking the guy. But the fact that I've never heard anybody think of this as a superpower, goodbye. Hi, like, no, away. I don't want to be around people who see this as just a weakness, right? It's like,
that, but okay.
No, that's what you said.
I had to explain it. So I'd explain the way that like I use Richard Branson's dyslexia.
No, it doesn't matter. You said he said, I'd never heard that before. He made you explain it again because already you're with the wrong person. Period. Full stop. End of story. I don't want to be around you because you see this as just, it's the coping, which is maybe you learn a trick or two from it. But I think you can already, I think ultimately you can figure it out on your own.
I don't see it as a superpower yet. So that's why it's like,
okay, but hold on.
Base things done.
No. But hanging around people who also don't see it as a superpower, who now you hold as an expert and has a professional opinion is the mistake. It's like you need to avoid those people at all costs because they're going to keep you in the limited mindset of this is holding me back and I need to just cope as best as I can. They are enabling your limited mindset over what this thing is. So there's that.
He says with a smile for the audio listeners.
Well, it's like that. Like that's so black and white. This is so not like this is there's phase one, which is coping mechanisms, and that's fine. And there's if it's 4 sessions or 6 sessions or 3 months or whatever. But there will be a moment where there is no more learning, where it's just talking, and where he's just enabling you to stay exactly where you are.
Yes.
And that's a problem. Like that is a problem. Like you are basically like you're homeless on the street and he's helping you learn how to sell drugs so that you can have your first apartment, right? Like that's it. But you don't want to hang around this guy for life.
No. But so I already know through people have told me that I already know that I tend to move. This sounds terrible. I tend to move through people very quickly, right? Like
but that's whatever. That's not.
No, but what I'm saying is, I when I had a business coach, this business coach that I talked about, I said as long as it's an investment, I'm willing to make it. As soon as it becomes an expense, it's going to end. And there was a time where I realized we just weren't making any new ground. We just weren't doing anything new. We weren't pushing further. So I already anticipate that this is a relationship with a time box on it.
Great. I just want you to get there faster.
Okay, sure. You always do.
Well, why not? Because you do. Because you want to solve this. Because you want to fix this. Because you want to get to superhero land. And you're like, that guy is enabling slow growth. Like if you can't catch it, this is very stage 1. And it's like you listen to the guidance counselor about your career. It's like,
so mad respect for high school guidance counselors as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
With love. I mean, I think, yeah.
I've never done therapy, whether this is the therapist or not. He may not be.
He's not the therapist.
Fine. He's not the therapist at the very least.
I want to learn how to make this a superpower. Like that is full stop what you need.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that you'll get, like, there might be 1 or 2 people period in the world who actually.
And then my next thing I said was, how can I dance with this? He really didn't understand what I meant by that.
Yeah. How do I dance with this? He doesn't get it. It's like, great. I understand that he's reading from a textbook, but this is not like, I don't want to live. Dude, do you know that my one word is extraordinary? That's what you got to tell him and then walk out.
I'll tell him next week.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Mad respect. Your goal is not to change his life and how he sees these things. Most of it, listen, honestly, the biggest part of therapy for the most part of that is unloading baggage, having somebody to talk to and listen to.
Non-judgmental setting.
Yeah. And whatever. You don't need that. You're fine, Drager. You're fine. That's not what you need right now.
Okay.
You're fine. You don't need that. I mean, great. Use that, but it's not solutions for how to build a better life. Like you're basically, I know I'm not gonna trash the whole industry, but it's like you don't need that for where you're at right now. It's not that it's not valuable. It's not valuable for you. Great. 1 more session, 2 more sessions. This is not the guy. Like he's holding you down on the treadmill. It's It's like you're trying to move forward and he's pulling you back saying, no, you suck. This is not a superpower, right? Like just totally the wrong guy. And it's not that I'm slamming him. It's more that I'm building you up. It's more my belief in you to figure this out and actually make it a superpower, that it's having the right team around you to be able to do it.
So here's the biggest challenge with whether I should happen to have, I mean, we'll find out over the next few weeks, hopefully, or a few months, because the treatment path is more helpful when you have a diagnosis. But anyway, it might be a really light form of bipolar too. It might be borderline personality disorder. It might just be generalized anxiety. It might be all kinds of things. Who knows? I know that I have things. What's that?
No, you got 6 out of 9. Like there may not be one box that you fit into. It might be overlapping different things, and it's different pieces of different things. That's why it's so hard to put a label on it, because you can find the things that don't fit. You say, well, that's not me because of these 3 things. Okay, but you still have the other 6. So let's work on those.
Right. But here's the challenge. When I'm up, or when I'm excited or manic or happy or whatever you want to call it, when I'm bold, whatever term you want to use, this week, I don't need any of those things because I'm like,
this is why
I'm running at like 120% right now. But
you have different, I like the personality thing, because I'm also convinced you have different love languages depending on which mark shows up today. 100%.
There's different everythings depending on which mark shows up.
Well, but that's it. But that's the dance.
For my kids and for my team.
But it only scares you because you don't have the information. Like you need to turn that. Running around ignorant doesn't save anything. Which
languages do you think I have, depending on whether I'm up or down?
Well, think about when you've done the exercises. Like when you've actually done the exercises, you're ready to do the exercises. You're inquisitive. You're curious. You're more on the upside. It's like, oh, this is cool. Let's improve our relationship. Let's figure out what we are. And so you came up with touch and acts of service.
Acts of service and touch.
Which is great. Awesome. When you're feeling low, I don't think acts of service will do anything for you. When you're low,
you think it's words of affirmation?
Number 1. Yeah. Like you need,
I could see where you were going with this.
No, well, I've already told you, I don't think touch will help. I think when you've got one of the things was like the shifting self-worth or shifting self-identity or whatever it is.
Both.
What is it?
Those are both things.
Shifting self-identity,
like a lack of self-identity is one of them, and the shifting self-worth is another one, like self-judgment.
Okay. Anyway, so those 2, when you're feeling that, you need words of affirmation. You need to be reminded of who Mark Drager is and the value that you bring, and in a loving but forceful push, right? Like it's not the Mark's gonna come and cry and needs a hug and like they're little Mark. No, you need to be reminded that you're an amazing human and all the value that you bring. Like that will land. That's what you need. When you're low, words of affirmation is your number 1 love language. And that's great. Like these are the hacks to get to know how to adjust to the situation and the people around you so that they know how to deal with this. Like we've been doing it naturally because I'm just bouncing with you. But when you feel low or down or whatever,
you step in, you help me, you guide me through things. I freak out about things. When things are up, I mean, we can go like a week or 2 without ever talking about anything.
Yeah, but it's all words of affirmation. Like it's what you need. You need the words of affirmation. Yeah. So this is still all coping mechanisms, right? It's still all coping mechanisms. Like if you get angry, you've got a punching bag in your closet or whatever.
I've decided I've gone back to the piano. I used to love playing piano. And I never did.
When you're angry, you play the piano?
Yeah, or anxious.
That's different. No. There's anxiety is one thing, and anger wasn't one of the things. Anger or rage or something. Yeah, great. So, but like
snap, anger.
Yeah, that's when you need to punch something. You need a punching bag. You need a life-size punching bag that you can just beat the crap out of, and also work on your physical fitness at the same time. When you're angry, playing like physical is a great way to change it. Piano might help with anxiety, or might help with walking or a run or physical activity, something light. I mean, I asked you before, when you're angry, does running help? Like, do you want to go on a rage run and get it out? It's like, no, but running helps me when I feel anxious. Great. So that's how you bounce. That's how you're dancing with it and mixing in your your fitness as well. So it leads to something positive. Piano, meditation, reading, podcasts, whatever. Great. So for each of those things, but this was like 2 weeks ago, we talked about this. For each of those things, have something that you do.
Yeah.
Right? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
You haven't done it. So, but do it. Like, get the punching bag. Do the piano. I mean, this is
piano. I've started piano. But
for each thing, you have something else. For each mood, you've got an answer. That doesn't necessarily turn into a superpower yet, but it's coping mechanism. So you don't stay in those states for too long. Mm-hmm. And you don't end up doing something that you regret or say something that you regret. Not that there's like massive regrets or that there's like huge things, but when you look back and say, oh, I'm not happy with how I treated that person or whatever, right? Because instead of punching them verbally, you're going to punch the bag and get it out. Right? Well, in past episodes, when you say you've been an a-hole to people, that's basically what it is. It's like raging on people because of...
I come across as this is what my line is, and then you usually correct me. I come across as condescending, and I find myself
sometimes
really cutting.
No, but not.
And then you did say, you don't come across as condescending, you are condescending.
Sometimes. This is it, depending on which Mark shows up on the day. Sometimes you're very kind and forgiving and nice, and sometimes you show up when you're already pissed off. I mean, and yes, that's everybody, but you just have a heightened sense of both of those. And so you let it out instead of on the human in front of you let it out on the punching bag in front of you, right? Or you let out the anxiety on the walk or on the Mozart song or whatever, the meditation, right? So I mean, that's 3 weeks. This is a 3-week-old conversation. Now it's just doing it. And for each one, you have one coping mechanism. Like that is doable. The superpower needs more research, but you got to do the first thing first. Where's the punching bag? Like, what are we doing?
I researched the day we talked about it. I researched the punching bag. I found it on Kijiji, a local one.
So just get it.
And then that was it.
But just get it. Get the punching bag. Go for the walk. Like, are you tracking when you feel anxious? And then did you started playing piano?
Yeah.
And it helps better than a walk?
Yeah, because it's like a puzzle. So I can only read music if I sit there and I like write in the notes.
Okay.
So I play open chords. I just play chords. Mm-hmm. And then once you know the chords, the melody of the song is in the chords. So it's the puzzle of like, these are the chord progressions. So finding the right chord progressions, then finding the melody, and then teaching yourself how to play the chords and the melody at the same time.
Okay. So you've been doing that. You did that? How many times have you done that?
I've done it only 2 days, but I told you
I
think I want to do it every day, but I mean, every day for now. Like, so this is
wait, hold on. But it doesn't have to be an everyday thing.
I get anxiety every day.
Oh, okay. Well then
I get anxiety. Like 10 minutes ago when you were talking, I got a really bad snap of anxiety, and now I feel fine. And now I feel totally fine. So like literally during the therapy session, it's funny, when we came out of the therapy session, I was like, it was an hour and a half here in my office. I was like drenched. Like I had to go have a shower afterwards because I was just like it was so tiring, like emotionally draining. And all I was doing was like sharing a few things that I share even here on the podcast. Everything in there I shared here. But listening to it and going through the process and all that stuff, it's just, yeah. What are you shaking your head for?
Anyway, whatever. That's fine.
You told me when I talked about it, you said, do it, don't do it, whatever. That's not the answer.
Yeah. No, sure. Whatever. Yeah. Listen, try it. Great. And listen, but I want you to try the other stuff. Like I would love for the therapist to be the answer for you. I just know that it's not, but if you need the experience to just go through it and see, then great, go do it. But not at the expense of like the punching bag will do way more for you than that therapist. For sure.
But so here's the thing, like here's another funny example. I decided to clean out the fridge, right? Like the fridge was bothering me. I decided to clean out the fridge. I found some old strawberries that were just on the verge of going bad. Not good, like not bad, but not good enough to eat. So I was like, oh, maybe I should make a preserve. So like I get out the pots and I'm getting ready to start making a preserve in the middle of the day. I don't know how to make a preserve. I don't know anything about it, but I didn't want to throw the strawberries. And then Jacqueline's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't want to waste these strawberries, this and that. And so she reminded me that one, I don't know how to do it. We don't have any of the ingredients to do it. We don't have a jar to put it in. Okay. And I should just throw the strawberries in the compost.
Okay.
That's like how fun it is when, like, I find that stuff fun, you know,
Okay.
when you're up or when you're higher or whatever it is,
Mhm.
right? It's like you can attack anything, you can do anything, you know that with enough time and resources, anything is possible.
Okay.
And
Great.
I love that.
Awesome. How long does the down moments last, or does it depend?
It depends. The part of
Because you said you were anxious for 10 minutes ago and then it just went away.
yeah, so
Is that-
that's anxiety. Like that's a different thing. I think, I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist. The anxiety can come and go. The anxiety is anxiety. The, you know, whatever, the borderline personality or bipolar or whatever it is that I may
But that's
happen
part
to
of
have,
it.
they're different. There's I don't remember the name,
Okay, whatever, but it's part of it.
but they're different.
Great, but it's part of it. I mean, yes.
It's not part of it. It's there's separate things. I don't think one is leading to the other.
I didn't say that, but
Okay.
there's 6 things that you're trying to now that you recognize that you have that you now
Yes.
we need to address.
Yes.
So how long do
But
those?
the
How long
anxiety
do you
is something
stay?
that's different.
Okay,
not
it's one of the
those
6.
things. No, it's not.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's not one of the 6. I'm telling you, it's something different.
Okay.
So I can have so okay, let's say that I have bipolar or borderline personality disorder.
Great.
Okay. The extremely reactive state might lead to the anxiety, but whether I'm feeling neutral or feeling up or feeling down, whether I'm feeling
so how long?
scared or
So
bold.
walk me through this. So you wake up today and you scored yourself what out of 10? Whatever. Don't. Jesus, we don't need it. What did you just? Rough ballpark.
Like 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I was
great.
I was pretty fired up today.
Okay, great. So have you fallen? Like, does it last for the whole day? Does something happen that then pisses you off? Like, what's going to lead to one of those 6 things showing up?
On the days when I'm really up, I tire myself out.
Okay, you're just going to burn out. So you're a rocket.
So yesterday, for example, I was like,
yeah, I got it.
I was great.
Okay.
And then by
but the whole day is great.
I was like 2 o'clock. I was like, now I didn't get down, but I was just like tired. I was just tired.
But then the next day became crap.
Monday was up, crushed the day. Tuesday was pretty neutral because I was just tired from how busy Monday was. Wednesday, I was back to being like feeling great. But by 3 o'clock, I started to get tired. I worked till 6 o'clock. Then this morning I was up at 5:30 before my alarm, and I came downstairs and I did like an hour and a half of work that I wouldn't normally do to catch up on stuff. It's been a great day, but I imagine after this call I'll be pretty tired.
Okay, so
tomorrow will be.
Okay, but
It's
what would happen?
Week. It's been a great
awesome. So you got it. So today was a 10 when you woke up. Monday was a 10. Monday was a 10. Tuesday was a what when you woke up?
Oh gosh, I was really tired. 5. It was neutral. It wasn't down. It wasn't up.
Oh, 5 is neutral. Okay. Got it.
Let's say 5 is neutral.
Got it.
Let's say
Perfect.
1 is bad.
Got it. Perfect. 1 is pretty bad. Okay, so the 5 was directly correlated to the 10 from yesterday that you rocket ship burned out.
Yeah, on the Monday I burnt out. Tuesday I was tired.
Okay, great. So now we need to leverage that. And when you feel like a 10, you know that you have to stop at 3.
But I also realized though, oh, okay, so that's interesting. But I also realized, do you remember back when we used to have conversations about how I would...
It's real therapy. Okay, keep going.
No, but so you're saying this is becoming therapy now? It's always has been therapy, Evan.
Yeah, real therapy with real solutions.
Real therapy, great. So do you remember how I used to talk about how I would be like, I would like be thinking about this pitch or this meeting, thinking, and then I would do it. And then as soon as I walked out, the last thing I wanted to do was like get to the next thing. Like I needed,
okay,
even if it was 1 PM, when I walked out, like I was done. I realized it's the same kind of like burnout. It's the same kind of like I'm so.
So why can't you take a break? If you took a break at 3, like what would you do? Could you come back to it, or you got to go back to Monday? Or today? Okay, Tuesday. You're dying.
Tuesday was the day I was done. Hold on.
No, I know.
Or neutral. But I wrote this all down. So let me just look.
No, I don't. It's fine, Mark. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Today you're fired up. Today you had a great day. You crushed it. You talked to trucks. You're doing this. Yeah. Awesome. You're on fire. If you keep going, you're going to burn out. And then tomorrow is going to be a neutral day. Yeah. Because you just crashed and burned. So
yes. And then by the end of my neutral day, I'll probably feel bad for not making the most of the day.
And then the next day is going to be what? Crap.
Depends how I wake up. I don't know.
Okay. So what? So you get a chance to actually test it out today. This is great. This is practical psychology. Here we go. So after today, how do you break? How long a break do you need? Do you need to go nap? Do Do you need to go meditate for 4 hours? Do you need to just not do anything now for the rest of the day because you started early? Can you come back to it at 7 at night after taking some time off? Or
maybe, I mean, I have a really important meeting tomorrow morning that I have to prep stuff for. So I was even thinking, rather than try to do grit through it for the rest of the afternoon, evening, I'd rather get up early tomorrow morning and crush it and be fresh and ready.
Well, this is it. Like, that you started with a 10.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen now are you not going to do any work for the rest of the day? Like, what kind of break do you need? Because your rocket, and then you just burn all your fuel. That's what you are. You're not this slow, steady, like it's blast off. And then that's it. I got nothing left.
Yes. This version of Mark is like that. Yes.
Well, great, but let's play with it. This is how you turn it into, a superpower. We're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So today's the test. Like, do you need the rest of today after this to not talk to another human, to sleep, to veg out and watch Netflix, to sit by the pool, to run naked with your chickens? Like, what do you need the rest of today? What do you need so that tomorrow you can wake up? This is the experiment, because we know what's going to happen. This pattern plays out. You're going to grind through today. You're going to wake up tomorrow, just feel okay, and then have an okay meeting. Where tomorrow we need to wake up and make it a 10. So what happens tonight to recharge our rocket?
I don't know. It's a good.
What do you feel like doing? What do you feel like after this? What are you going to feel like doing?
I got lots of stuff to do, but
no, not what you have to do with responsibilities. What do you actually feel like doing? You're losing energy. Rocket ship is burning out.
There's no more wick. I mean, I feel great now. So
yeah, because you're talking to me, but the wick is going to go down to zero.
As soon as Evan goes, the candle will burn out.
Yeah, you're listen. You're running.
The flame is going to go.
You're already there, right? You said 3 o'clock, right? It's almost 4. You're almost there. The wick is at 0. You're going to feel it in 25 minutes.
I think I'll be good, because I went out for a half an hour walk with Jack to go pick up the kids. So that's a good little recharge. But to your point, all I need to do is get comfortable. All I need to do is get comfortable stopping work, quote unquote, early, knowing that I'll make up more efficiency and more progress later. And if I can get over that, then it doesn't
today's
really
your practice.
It doesn't really matter what time of day I stop at. Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday was okay.
I think
it was a 5.
Was the neutral day, where it's like by 4 o'clock, I was just like, I went outside with my youngest daughter and our puppy. They ran around for half an hour. They did that, and then I started cooking dinner, and then I think I may have even went back to work at 7 or 8 o'clock. But it's just getting comfortable stopping work at times that are work time and working at times that are not work time. Not blocking things so much. So
it's a superpower.
On Saturday, I'm feeling amazing. Then
I'm a rocket ship. I'm a freaking rocket ship. When I
fueled.
Yeah, what I did in my whatever hours a day, like I'm flying to Mars, and most people are putting along in their little crop dusters.
Sure. Now you're trying to use words of affirmation.
Working all day long. No, but like that's it. That's what you need, because you're judging yourself for not working. Meanwhile, you're getting crazy amounts of stuff done while you're on, and then you throw away almost an entire day because you're down and you're forcing stuff out and you're mean to your team and all that stuff. Like Monday's great. You burn out. Tuesday's okay. And then Wednesday sucks. And then Thursday's great. And then Friday you start to burn out. And then Saturday.
We'll see. Monday was great. Tuesday I was tired. Wednesday was great for 3/4 of the day. And then I started to burn out. Today was great. So this is where, like, when I go like, I think I have bipolar, I don't think I'm bipolar, but if I'm actually tracking these things, and if I'm feeling this way for a few weeks, then it might be that.
Yeah.
And then if I'm feeling down for a few weeks, it might be that. I don't know.
This is the names don't matter apart from getting strategies and ideas from what, because
has worked for other people.
Yeah. That's it. It's one of the things. It's one of the 6 things, is being caught up on labels or whatever, right? What's one of the things? It's one of them. What's one of the 6? It's about labels or judgment or something. What is it?
Okay, I'll pull them for you.
Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. You struggle with that. Great. It's hard to say I have this. Awesome. Doesn't matter.
Yes,
You don't have it.
that is one of them. I don't want, yes, I'm not very comfortable saying this is what I have. So I'd rather just say like it's tendencies or it's likely, or I might, or I'm displaying it or whatever.
The only value of that is to find the 1/2 of 1% of people.
Fear of abandonment, unstable relationships, shifting self-image, extreme emotional swings, chronic feelings of emptiness, explosive anger, and feeling suspicious.
Great. So the only point is to find the 1/2 of 1%, not even, who see any of those as a positive and how to bounce with it. Otherwise, who cares what you call it? Doesn't matter.
Well, so what I think I need to figure out is, so I'm tracking these things and I'm aware of these things. It's the first lesson I learned, was just try to pay more attention to what's going on. The second thing that, you have helped with, but others as well, is like, okay, if I'm paying attention to it, don't judge it right away. And then, and accept it a little bit more, which was really hard for me, and then the next thing is now trying to figure out, okay, if there's a version of me that's like this, and there's a version of me that's like that, and there's even a version in the middle, how do I, if I can recognize each of those versions while it's happening, how can I adjust what I'm doing? And then the step after that is, great, now how do I make sure that everyone around me can either recognize it, understand it, or know why I'm doing the things that I'm doing?
Yeah.
Like if I need to take 3 days off of, if someone needs something and I'm
hold on.
Do it for 3 days, that's like,
yes. If you plan it better, I think your peaks and valleys, especially the valleys,
are more predictable,
aren't as extreme. Like if you know that you woke up at a 10 and you've been blasting all day and you've had massive progress and crazy energy, and now you're going to crash, and tomorrow you don't want to suck at your meeting, then you need to relax today after this and not judge yourself that you're not working at 4:30 on a Thursday afternoon. Tomorrow, the low maybe isn't there at all. Or if it is, maybe it's just a 7 instead of a 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of the reactionary things, I don't think are as severe. But like if somebody pisses you off.
If I'm supposed to be 10 though, like, I don't know if 10 is something that's even focused.
No, you don't have to have a 10 every day. That's fine.
But what I'm saying though is like 1 is not good. And maybe, I don't know yet if 10 is still not good. It's great that you get a lot of things done, but I don't know yet if I should be aiming to try and be 5 more, or if I should try and be 10 more, or if when I'm 1, I should figure out how to get to 5, or if I should just embrace whatever I'm feeling when I'm feeling it and learn in that moment how to be best at that. That I don't know yet.
It's both. No, but that's fine. It's both. It's in the immediate moment, like rage, I'm going to go punch a bag. That's in the immediate moment, right? Right? Like if you're feeling super low, if you're feeling super high, it doesn't mean that you have to bring yourself down. We could maybe explore that. It just means you're going to burn your fuel and you need to relax a little bit earlier, but stay in the zone is probably the best bet. And you're feeling super low, you need an immediate strategy so that you don't get to a 10, but at least you're not a 1. Like you can get back to a 5, like piano, like walking, like punching a bag. Great. But I think if you planned it a little bit better and you know that you need to relax tonight or this afternoon, then tomorrow you have a much lower chance of actually having to even resort to any of those strategies, because that thing, like, and this, other people can relate to, I can relate to. When you're feeling tired and stressed and low energy and something happens, you freak out a lot more than if you're feeling positive, rested, and great, right? Like the same thing, but the reaction is different. So I don't think you'll have to have as many coping strategies if you plan for it a little bit better. It doesn't mean it won't happen. You could plan as much as you want tonight, and then a raccoon comes into your house and scratches your face and you're pissed. It's going to happen sometimes. You can't plan for everything in life, but you know that if you have some rest tonight and don't work anymore, you have a greater chance tomorrow of waking up and having it not be a 2 and then sucking at your meeting and freaking out when it doesn't go exactly according to plan and then chewing somebody's head off. So it's both. But I think the planning, like we can see patterns already emerging. You fix that, the immediate ones, you won't need to do nearly as much.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, we'll do it tonight. Like, do it right now. You're done. We're done. We'll record our intro extra, whatever is the end of the show. Hey, now go relax. Go lie in your hammock or go, I don't know what you do to relax. Go for a walk.
Building my son a new closet.
Go build a closet with him, like connect, something that's not going to cause you, like, what do you feel like you want to do right now? Not what you have to do right now. What do you want to do right now? What'd be fun to do?
I don't know.
Okay, well, that's like, but it's also, you're in the wrong because you're still high right now. Because we're still talking, this is happening. This is going to wear off. Yeah. As it starts to slip, what do you feel like doing? And giving yourself permission to go do what you feel like doing, not, I got to get this email back and I got to blah, 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 and then super burning out and hating your life.
Well, I'll let you know.
Yeah, no,
it was
goddamn good. Do it, Drager. Like, I don't want another 3 weeks of, I didn't get it. I mean, I thought about it and then nothing. Can we fix this and move on and build something?
Does my lack of actually doing things bother you?
Yes, because it bothers you.
Yeah, it's funny because there's definitely a shift. There's definitely a shift from, the 6 months of, for everybody during COVID, has been like questioning, is it worth it? Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? What are we doing? All of those things we talked about on the podcast. But there's more like, when I'm talking to my kids about what we could, we could have that next year at this time. Like right now, money may be tight, but next year at this time, it may not be. If we do these things right, and then we can have that thing. We can do that thing that you want. We can, whatever it is, whatever's important to them. But when I'm down or even a few weeks ago or whatever it was, it just seems like all that stuff's out of reach. So what I'm trying to figure out is like, great, I'm feeling good now. I can see it's in reach. How do I keep that going and remind myself of that? And when it seems like it's out of reach, don't pay attention to that because the sun will rise tomorrow and I have a chance of feeling better tomorrow anyway. So
maybe don't worry about that yet.
So what am I supposed to worry about right now?
I
worry about everything.
No, that's fine. We're going to end this. This is the only thing that matters right now.
The only thing that matters is as soon as this is done, I do this and they go, what do I want to do now?
What do I feel like doing? Not what needs to get done. What do I feel like doing? And give it 10, 15 minutes to wear off for the energy for the
Evan Carmichael buzz to come down.
Well, it's not like you would get this with Anthony Trucks. You get this with any fun conversation with somebody where it's not deadlines and promises and commitments and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Great. Any of your guests on your podcast. Yeah. I want to know, first off, go order the stupid punching bag. Do that while the candle is burning out. That's your homework. Do the punching bag. You already know where it is. Go buy it. Great. And then what do I feel like doing? And I want an update. I want you to Facebook me and tell me what the update was. Or if you want to be so bold as to actually record a video that we can tag on to the end of this episode for people to know the conclusion of what happened. That's something. But at least
like that challenge when you made me go out and buy a suit. Do you remember that?
at least Facebook me, because I want to know what I care about you and I want to see you win and fix this so you can build your extraordinary life.
I appreciate that.
Good. So
I
go do it.
Why, but that might be one of those
fine.
fear
Let's
of abandonment or unstable relationships or shifting self-image. But anyway.
Great. That's the homework.
Thank you.
Go do it. Are you committing to doing the homework?
Yes.
Good. If you want to watch me push Mark on stuff, check the video right there next to us. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe. We'll see you there. Let's go.
Let's go.
Do it.
I will.